Hi everyone, I'm home today, and yesterday I was able to give a tour of the Legacy to some of my friends, Steve and Babette. Steve's a pilot, he has his own airplane, so I wanted to show him around the airport. Hope you enjoy the video.
Simulator training, where do they pilots do that?
Dallas, we go to Dallas for the Legacy and the Phenom. The Hawker, we go to Wilmington, Delaware, and for the Gulfstream, we go to Savannah.
Oh, okay. Yep,
So,
that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm going to take these off because we're going to start up the APU so I can show you the avionics.
I used to sell annunciator panels to Gulfstream.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Golly, that was the very beginning of this. And I used to give rides to the engineers, and they loved it. Take them to lunch. I had a 235 Viper Comanche.
Yeah?
And they just thought that was the greatest thing. I kept begging them, saying, you know what, you guys really need to give me a ride when you do your test flights.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a little different.
I mean, this is like,
It's already got like a little.
like getting on a 737.
It's kind of warm in here, but we'll get the air conditioner going.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, like in style.
What do they do? Where's the completion center nowadays? In
It's in Florida actually.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh, wait, the parking brake.
Oh my gosh. No gauges. That's just crazy to me these days.
Yeah, it's a little different. You can hop up here if you want. We're gonna start it up. The APU. So we're just waiting for the CAS messages to come on. Make sure we don't have any fire lights.
Put that there. There we go. There we go. There. Yeah. Oh man, this is comfy.
It's a little bit more comfy than
Oh
that.
my gosh, the visibility. Particularly lateral visibility is really good, isn't it?
All right, so we have no fire lights. And I'll turn this one on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, I'm hanging out in luxury.
Yeah.
All right, so it's gonna do a bit test and fire in the hole. So there's a curtain. Let me close this curtain real quick so it's not bad in here.
Now this would take some getting used to.
Well, it's fly-by-wire, so
I mean,
You
I'm
take
used
it-
to this.
yeah. So you take it and you turn it, and you let go of it, and it stays in the bank.
Oh,
Take
really?
it the other way or pitch up, it stays right where you put it.
Oh,
So it's kind of
man,
neat.
that'd be cool. Oh my gosh. I guess it wouldn't take long to get used to it being over here. I mean, you're spread out a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
But when you're flying a jet, it's what, by the numbers more than by the seat, or how does that work?
I mean, you can fly, you can hand fly it if you want. It
Yeah.
works just the same. Fly-by-wire is a little bit different. You can't, like, if you get too slow, it's going to take over and it's going to pitch the nose down. So, and if you get too fast, it'll actually pitch up, and you don't have anything you can do about it.
Really?
Yeah, because it goes into its logic going, hey, you're going to crash if you don't change something. So if you get too slow on a landing, it'll actually pitch over. So
That's not good.
That's not good. So you don't want to do that. But
Boy, everything's so easy to see and read.
yeah, so this is your controls down here, and you have a mouse. So I just select which screen I want to go to, and then I can go to the mouse, and we just start up here at the top. So I'll go to FMS, and then we'll start at the top.
What was FMS?
flight management system.
Okay.
So we check the dates on here. Here's our AC.
Oh my gosh, that's
So,
powerful.
Yeah.
Do that.
So you come back here and you go to flight plan setup, your next one. So then we just type in our airports, like KAPF. And then we can do, how about IPT, Williamsport. And then whenever you do anything up here, like I say, we're going to do flight level 410. It does all of our performance for us. And our speeds, it'll actually put our speeds up here for us also, based on our performance. You can put an alternate and then your alternate altitude. You can put your flight plan in through here. This is our VNAV, our thrust. So we have a descent, climb, whatever speeds, because it's got auto throttles.
Oh my gosh.
So you just tell it what you want it to do, and it'll push the power forward and climb, or bring the power back and descent.
Wow.
And you pick what speed you want and program the system to whatever speed you want here. Like on approach, these are my approach speeds, 200, 180, 160. And then, yeah, flaps full, flaps clean. And then it'll actually slow down for those automatically.
Automatically.
Yeah.
So you're shooting an approach. You don't have to worry about throttles. You don't have to worry about the throttle.
No.
And yeah, obviously you're gonna. Would you use autopilot all the way?
You can, yeah.
Wow.
So the autopilot certified down to 80 feet.
Is that right?
Yeah. I'm
Sure.
sure.
Would you wouldn't do that though, would you? You wouldn't want to take over at 80 feet, would you? Or
It's not really a big deal in this
Oh,
airplane.
it's not.
No, we usually take over about 200 feet at the minimum. It just kind of depends. So, but yeah, you set all your speeds, and then you do your weight and balance is actually calculated in here. So
Oh, that's nice.
your maximum takeoff weight, maximum landing weight, it does all the information for you. And then we do takeoff, so we have airports. Put in the performance and the winds, and it does all the performance for us. So same thing on landing, does the same thing. And you can bring up charts here, or here's your checklist. So if I wanted to run a before start checklist, I go to normal, before start checklist, and then you just check stuff, and it automatically checks it off.
Oh,
And some of them will do it automatically, like the door. When the door's closed, it'll check it off automatically.
oh, I see. Yeah.
We got charts, so we can bring up the airport diagram here.
Oh my God.
So we have the chart, and then if you bring up, let's do memory 9 here. If we bring up over here, you can bring up the weather,
Okay.
so you can see. We can do. Let's do an overlay here. You put DCAS and then XM weather. We'll do NEXRAD and lightning, and you can actually see it all on there.
Oh my gosh, how nice is that?
Yeah, it works great for planning. We have a weather radar too, so if you're penetrating a cell or trying to negotiate around cells, you're going to use the live radar. Because remember, you're getting this from XM satellite. It may be up to 15 minutes old. Normally it's about 2 to 3 minutes, but you get all your comms, navs in through here. These are your engine gauges. N1, ITT, N2, oil pressure, oil temp. We have a vibration, so it tells us the engine's vibrating. And then fuel flow. Right now it has 6,930 pounds of fuel. And then of course all of our CAS messages. Here's the gear, spoilers, flaps, and then our pitch and yaw trim. So we don't really, since it's fly-by-wire, we don't trim in normal mode. It does all the trimming automatically, so we don't touch it. This is just the APU.
So when you get right down to it, as you indicated earlier today, I need to hire an IT guy over a pilot. I gotta have a guy that's real comfortable right here.
Yeah.
And
it's a little about you still got to have your stick and rudder skills, but you got to learn the computer system.
Yeah.
And everyone's those over there are Garmins, and this is a Proline Fusion. So they're two different computer systems. So
is there a big difference between them? As far as learning it?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, if you're not familiar with them, this has more of an FMS base. Anything Garmin, it's like the G1000, the G3000, G5000, like the G1000s, which is popular in the 172s. They're all the same DNA. So even though the buttons are a little bit different in places, they're still the same philosophy. So Garmin did that really well. And now this is a ProLine Fusion. If you go to the Hawker, it's a ProLine 21, and it's a whole different system. Like they rewrote the whole program. So
that would suck.
Yeah. That's not bad though. You get flaps here. These are speed brakes. We can shut down the engines for if we had a fire. These are start-stop knobs. We have 2 fire bottles. And then here's the trim, but like I said, all we do is we set the pitch trim. We can't even use this in normal mode. It won't do anything because it automatically trims.
Yeah.
So if you go to, if you're off CG, it corrects for you. If you had a fuel balance, it corrects for it. So you can't really tell at all.
So you never notice that.
Yeah, and then the rudder pedals, they're electric. They move back and forth. So that's what the little arrows are there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Huh.
Of course, you can move your seat. It's got a sight gauge. So you line this dot up with that dot.
Yep.
So lift it up, and then you can move it back and forth.
That's where you want to be.
That's where you want to be.
So you want that covered up with this.
Yep.
Got it.
Exactly.
Pretty close.
And this is all our FMS. We have some buttons here. These are our comms and navs, radios, turn up volume, that kind of stuff. And then up here, these are basically divided up in systems. Oh, we have, I'll show you real quick on this. Here's our systems pages. So we have, you know, we can tell if the doors are closed or open, our flight ID, oil pressure, that kind of stuff.
Hey, Babette, did you take pictures of this by chance?
Yeah.
It's lit? Okay.
And these are our flight controls. So it goes through and makes sure all the flight controls, it does a self-test. So
Nice.
once we have, since they're hydraulic flight controls, we do a test, and all these will turn green essentially once we have hydraulics out.
I see.
So here's our ECS system. So we have a pack and we have a backup pack. So for environmental outflow valves, we can set the temperatures. They're actually right here. We can set the temperatures automatic, or we can set them manually. So we can actually turn the temperature back there, and they have a control. They can control the temperature in the cabin. So
Man.
here's our fuel.
Off quick, didn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's very, it'll start throwing out a little ice chunks too.
Oh.
Fuel system. So you can see our pumps here. You know, the rest of the system. Here's our electric system. And hydraulics. We have 3 hydraulic systems in this aircraft. 4 pumps. Yep. Yeah, because remember, if you have our flight controls are hydraulic, so you can lose 2 to 3 systems and still have control of the airplane. But with that, we got to have backup for electric also. So we have 2 batteries, but then we have the APU, so we can run off either engine or the APU itself. And then we have what's called a RAT. It's a ram air turbine. It's actually, there's a pull thing over there, but it comes out and it's another basically generator that pops out on and it'll produce energy.
Oh, neat. So that's it's manual. So it literally will rotate with the airspeed.
Yeah, you got to keep a certain airspeed up to make that work. So
Oh, my gosh.
that's about it, I think. Parking brake, throttles, and then all your autopilot systems. So
This is amazing.
Yeah.
it's a little different, isn't it?
Now you know what goes on up here.
Yeah. We have Wi-Fi in all of our airplanes, so we can check, you know, weather or talk to the company, that kind of stuff. It works pretty good.
Yeah. I love it.
Wow.
So,
Wow, how exciting.
well, I think that's it. I'm gonna shut this off.
Thanks so much for showing us this. This is too cool. Wow.
It's like flying in luxury here.
It's like
for a pilot.
Yeah,
Warning, one channel.
it's nice.